Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, everyone.
My camera's not on. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday it is. A lot going on today. The last Sunday in May. We are now heading to June.
Yes.
How are you doing, Plum?
I'm okay.
Doing okay?
How are you?
I'm hanging in there. No complaints. I know that we just found out something about New Jersey today. We just found out that New Jersey has a curfew for Newark. Is it just Newark area, right?
I couldn't read the whole article. I believe it's just for Newark because it is the immigrant detention center. They were doing protests and stuff out there.
Oh,
So I believe it's just for that area.
Oh my goodness. Things is really getting a little touchy. It's getting a little touchy. Oops. Sorry. Getting a little touchy there in certain areas. I hope, we don't want it to be spilling over into other cities, that's for sure. Because it's been a few arrests. People are really upset. They're emotionally upset about what's going on, but you can't blame them because tension is high. It's extremely high. And people are upset about their family members, their loved ones who are being mistreated in these facilities. And I heard they're pretty bad conditions. And some of the Congress and representative, I'm hearing that they're not even able to go in and inspect, which makes it even worse. Like, why can't they come in and inspect what's going on? To me, that's not cool. Normally, the health inspector should be able to go in. Some officials from the board from the township should be able to go in and see what kind of conditions are these facilities under. But they may okay it and say it's okay. It looks great. Who knows?
Yeah, that's a shame.
We don't know what to expect. But the curfew, you said the curfew is from what time?
I believe it's at 9 p.m. to 6 a.m.
9 p.m. to 6. 9 p.m. Got to be inside to 6 a.m. in the morning, except for those who, are working or have to leave for emergency purposes. Wow, that's crazy. But we're living in a time where it's just unreal. Got to prepare ourselves. And these are the things that our ancestors, some of the experiences that we may be experiencing now is what some of the things that they've gone through in the past, which is not a good feeling because they fought, bled, and died so that we wouldn't have to go through these things. But unfortunately, here we are. The fight continues. I do want to start off by saying happy birthday to those who are celebrating a birthday. We are now in the month of starting June tomorrow, which we're in Gemini season. So we want to extend a happy birthday to those who are celebrating a happy birthday. Any shout outs that you want to do, Shakira, on someone's birthday?
No, not that I can think of.
Not you can think of.
Happy birthday!
We're celebrating a birthday during the Gemini season. Shout out to Dina McMillan. Shout out to Dina. Dina's birthday is this month. I think her birthday was yesterday or it's today, but I know it's Gemini season. And to anyone else who is celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you. And if you're celebrating an anniversary, we want to say happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary, regardless of wedding anniversary, job anniversary, retirement anniversary, whatever it is, happy anniversary. We want to jump right into some of our topics. We probably won't be able to get through all of them, but we'll try to do the best that we can to get through as many as we possibly can. The one that I'm going to start off with right now, and I know that this, because we missed 2 weeks, y'all, so we're so glad to be back, by the way. We're so glad to be back. I mean, my ear is feeling a whole lot better. I can hear. I only have about one more day of medication and I'll be done. But it's good to have your hearing back. I'm telling you, you take things for granted. And then when things, you're like, oh my goodness, boy, Father God, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. But while we were away, there was a lot of things that we weren't able to bring up during our Momma Said It segments. But we do want to touch base on it now a little bit because I want to get your opinion, and maybe those who may be joining us, maybe they want to put their 2 cents in to find out about the comedy controversy. Should anything be off limits in a roast? Because roast is something that's people that they do. They make fun of each other. But there's things that should be off limits where you can't talk about it? What is your thought on it?
Well, I feel like with a roast you can't be so sensitive, but I feel like the Kevin Hart roast was just racism. In my
Racism?
opinion, I just feel like it was just all about race. I feel like it was all about Cheryl Underwood. They
Yeah.
took a stab at her every chance they could get, about
Oh,
her
yeah.
blackness, about how dark she is, about her husband committing suicide,
Oh, that's crazy.
about George Floyd,
Yeah,
saying
that's
he's
crazy.
looking up at us. So you're insinuating that he's not in heaven if he's
Oh,
looking
that's
up,
crazy.
and stating that he's saying, I'm laughing so hard I can't breathe. I don't think that's funny.
No.
So I think it
Yeah.
was very, very, it was beyond too much.
Senseless?
Yeah, that was, but you can tell who was the writers. It wasn't no black people in that room. You can't tell me no black person was in that room, right? Because those jokes are on the prompter. This is not something that they was coming off the top of their head. These are jokes that are written on the prompter.
Oh,
And
I
you
thought
can tell
they were already pre-planned.
Yes, they were already
Oh,
pre-planned and
really?
approved. Yeah, they're not just gonna let them people get up there and just say what I'm saying. Like media is censored. They make it seem like it's free speech, but it's censored, and we all know that. They want
So
to
they
be
was
able to
reading
control
off of
a prompter.
oh,
That's why in
wow, that's
with
crazy.
certain people that got up there, they was like, I'm not reading that, and they would skip over whatever the joke was or whatever. Now it is some people that went off the top, which I feel like that's what Cheryl Underwood did because she ripped the people that was talking about her. But yeah, I just thought it was
That's
very insensitive.
so I hear that Kevin Hart went on the Breakfast Club and started to deflect or sort of, I want to say deflect. Maybe
He would
that's the
do
wrong
anything
word.
for money. I was very disappointed. I was disappointed.
Because
Especially,
his thoughts was that nothing's off the table when it comes down
nothing's
to a
off the
roast.
limits. You're making it a big deal. It was horrible. It was like you didn't even have accountability to say, you know what, I understand how you feel that way. It was kind of like, nope, it's a joke. That was not funny. But I mean,
Yeah.
do I like Kevin Hart? Kevin Hart's cool, but he would do
I love
anything. I
Kevin
won't say
Hart.
he'll do anything for money, but he'll do anything. He's on everything. He has no problem in selling. He'll sell Capital One credit cards and he'll sell chicken
But that's
and
a
chicken
legitimate
watermelon.
business to sell Capital One credit cards. But let me ask you this question with Kevin Hart, because I heard that they went in on his mother.
They said now, okay,
about,
so this was Regina Hall. She said, I'm channeling your dead mother, right? I thought that was a bit much, but it wasn't to me that was not as harsh
she
as
said I'm channeling in on your Okay. Wow.
And she personally knows Kevin. These people were
Yeah.
just talk like and majority of the people that were talking racism was white folks. It wasn't black people,
Yeah.
getting up there and talking about how dark Cheryl Underwood is. It's the white folks that was saying all this stuff. So
But
for
haven't
me,
roasts been this way for years? Like this is
I've
not the
never
first
seen
time.
it this bad in my life.
Oh,
I've never
really?
seen it this bad. No, it
Do you
was
think?
just like I've seen you hear racist jokes all the time. Even when you go to a black stand-up comedy, they're talking about white people. They're talking about that's normal. But the way that it was lynching was mentioned. It wasn't
Wow.
just you know what I'm saying. It wasn't just that. It was I showed up like your daddy wouldn't. You know, unlike your father, I'm going to show up for you today, and your dad is a crackhead or whatever they were saying. You're a crack baby.
I still didn't
Okay,
get a chance to watch it. I got to go back and watch it. My
you have
time
to
has
if
been
you
really
go back and
limited.
watch it,
I
you're
really
gonna.
got to go and watch it.
It's one thing that like I'm from the generation of watching Def Comedy Jam and stuff like stuff that was raw. Like you don't have
Yeah.
raw
Yeah.
comedy
Sure.
anymore. It's very sensitive. But that was horrible. That was
Wow.
just uncalled for. It made my skin crawl.
Wow, that's crazy. Hey, Barb, thanks so much for
Hey, Miss
joining, Barb. You're
Barbara.
beautiful as well, Barbara. Thank you. Yes, Dean is celebrating a birthday. I know it's today or yesterday, but happy birthday.
And I think Deanna has celebrated sometime last week
Oh,
or
really?
sometime
Deanna's
this month.
birthday?
I think. Yeah, I think so. If
Oh,
I'm not mistaken.
happy
Um,
birthday.
Miss Barbara says she called into the Breakfast Club and said she signed off on the jokes about her husband.
Who's
Okay.
it? Oh, Cheryl Underwood did?
Cheryl Underwood. That's what the white comic kept saying up there, like, oh, I signed off on it. I just think that at what cost do you say? I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like suicide is not something to make fun of. And it's not even like it was one joke. Okay. If it was one joke, nobody cared. It was
Right.
every person that got up there talked about, I don't know how your husband lasts 3 years. I sat up here for 3 hours. And like stuff like that. Like, oh, don't show him the what is that? The Golden State one of the players from the Golden State was there. Their logo is a bridge.
Right.
And he said, don't show him that because her husband jumped off a bridge.
Right. Oh,
So
that's crazy.
it was just to me, it was a lot.
It was a lot to take in. Yeah, I heard so much controversy about it, but I think that in all fairness, with comedians, to be a comedian, first of all, to me, I think you have to have tough skin. You cannot be a comedian with being sensitive. It just ain't gonna work. You'll go home every day crying. You know what I mean? So I don't think a person who has thin
Give
skin
it back
to be a
to
comedian.
Ross.
Lucia, thank you so much, Lucia. Miss Hill, thank you. Miss Hall, excuse me. Thank you so much for joining. We appreciate you being here with us. Feel free to comment. We would love to hear your remarks. Hey, Deanna.
Hey, D.
Came in just in time. Yes, thank you so much. Is your mom's birthday? Was the birthday today or tomorrow?
Yeah. Shut my door.
Is your mom's birthday today or tomorrow? That's what we want to know. Okay, as we move into the chat, as we move into our next topic, excuse us, ladies, we have some toddlers on our hand. So please excuse. I know Shakira has a mute, so she can mute it on and off. Shakira, your mute works on and off still, right?
Why? Can you hear me? You can't hear me, right?
Yeah, when there's a lot of background noise.
Okay, well. Can you hear me?
Oh, it was yesterday. Okay, yesterday. She said it was yesterday. Okay, hello, ladies.
So,
thank you so much, Rita.
You can still hear the noise?
Huh?
You can still hear the noise?
Very much.
Oh, because I don't know what to do about that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the thing is, must not be working. Okay, so let's go into our next topic because it's just a little bit that we have to cover. I know many of you have been hearing about the controversy with this $250 bill featuring Donald Trump. Should a living president be honored on a U.S. currency, or is this taking politics too far? Do you want to see the $250 bill with Donald Trump's face on it? I mean, because most of the presidents right now that are on the currencies have been, was deceased. So they're pushing for this $250 bill. Do you think, yes or no? Do you think this is a go? Would you accept a $250 bill? Me, I'm like, 250. Listen, money is money, but I understand people don't want to see his face on no bills. Okay, people don't want to see his face on the bill. I get it. I understand it. But I want to hear from you, Shakira. What's your thoughts on it? Does it matter? Is it really a big deal?
Everybody that's on the things now are dead. So I mean,
but he is not.
Don't nobody look at. Yeah, he ain't. I mean, not deceased yet. He's gonna. I mean, eventually we all go. And put it out like that. But he's. Right. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, nobody's gonna not spend money because whoever's on the bill.
Okay, right. I agree. That's my point of view. But do I want to see his face on the $250 bill now? No. That's let's just be straight up with it. Either yes or no. You do. You don't. Hey sis, thanks so much for joining. Thanks so much for joining. Deanna said, absolutely not. She said, I don't want to see his face, to be honest, but it's just another way to flex his narcissism. Oh yeah, that is unreal. It's so much. Now, while we're on this subject, we've been hearing a lot about this $1.77 billion bill that's going to be passed for, supposedly. It's been on hold. We've heard that there's a federal judge that put it on hold. We know that they're going to appeal it. That's just what they do. They're going to appeal it. Should taxpayers be footing the bill, though, or is this compensation justified? Where do you stand? What do you think about this? This is such a crazy situation where we're now having to pay $1.77 billion, but people can't get decent health insurance. The food prices are up sky high. The people's gas is up sky high. People are still getting rent increasing, but the pay is not increasing. I mean, it's just a slew of different things that is going on that is really hurting American people. But not just that. I mean, people are feeling also, because we get phone calls that come in, I get text messages and emails where clients are saying, hey, should I become tax exempt? Because if this is what they're doing with my money, then maybe I need to keep all my coins. What is your feeling on this? Our co-host, what do you feel? What do you feel about this? This is such a crazy situation. And then everybody's getting a reparation. And when they talk about Black African Americans get a reparation, all of a sudden they don't have no money. But in this particular case, money suddenly appears. This is unreal. But Shakira, should taxpayers be footing the bill?
No, but you know that they are, because that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah. And that sucks. But guess what? Let me just say this. And a few attorneys that I've been, communicating with, and not just that, on social media, you hear people say, if that does happen, they're going to be applying. Whether they're going to get an approval or not remains to be seen. But if they do put it out there, I think I'm going to apply too, because it's been stressing me the hell out. I need to apply. We all need to apply. If it's our money, we might as well apply for our money. If you're talking about how has it affected our lives, it affected everybody, I think. And 1.77, that's a lot of daggone money. It's a lot. It's unreal how the American people, and it's almost like we're sitting, I wouldn't say like sitting ducks, because we do have November that's coming up, and the remapping of, it's just so much to take in. How much more could we take? That's the big concern. We all have to continue to live our life and pay our bills and survive. But these types of things, it almost seems like the Democratic Party, are they doing anything? The voice I heard the most from the Democratic Party, and correct me if I'm wrong, I heard Jasmine Crockett the most. Who did you hear the most from the Democratic Party?
Well, she always is usually the most vocal,
Yeah.
usually
But all of them
on all
should be
the
having a
issues.
knipsy fit and screaming at the top of their lungs. That's my take on it. Barbara said all of the presidents on the bills were slave owners. It may not get passed. He has to take his name off the Kennedy Center. They said it was unlawful for him to do it. That is so true. And I thought that was kind of crazy. But you know what? I think with the Trump family, if we all notice, they're high into branding. They brand their name. They stick their name on any and everything they can. So they're highly into branding. And if anybody know about branding, it's about putting your name on stuff. Let me see, can I stick my name here? And they'll put their name on things, and if you allow it to go through, they're happy. So yeah, I'm sure the Kennedy family, at least majority of the Kennedy family, are very happy that his name is getting removed, but he's going to appeal that too. He's going to appeal that too, because that's just what he does. Okay, so now I just want to change the subject, and I want to talk about this touching situation. It was a child. The parent had a hidden camera in his child's hair, and it was exposed. What no parent wants to see. I do want to show you this clip of a parent who had to experience this firsthand. Stay with me. Let me just grab the clip for you, please. Oh wait, hold on tight. I think I traded that in. But let me just give you a little bit insight on what had taken place with this mother. She actually sent her child to school who was nonverbal. Um, and she was suspicious that something was going on at the school. And so she decided to put a camera in her child's hair. And when she did this, the child came home and she reviewed the camera, and shocking video showed the teacher was doing things that she shouldn't have done, which caused her to get fired, actually. And I think parents these days, a lot of them are putting cameras in their kids' backpack and their hair and anything else that they could, because a lot of times when you're seeing your child at school, you can't see what's going on. Your eyes are not there, especially when you get to public schools. Oftentimes the doors are locked and they don't allow you to enter without having permission. So that makes a parent feel uneasy at times, I'm sure. Did you hear about this situation, Shakira?
Yes, I did.
And what was your take on it?
Um, well, I did. I heard about the story on the news, so I didn't deep dive to see exactly what was, but it seemed like the child was being, because they were saying that it was behaviors that, like the teachers were saying different behaviors was going on, and it was out of character for the kid, so that's why it prompted her to put the camera in his hair.
Yeah. Yeah. That's any parent's worry when you're up against a situation like that, is not knowing, especially if the child comes home with abuses and stuff like that. It's any parent's nightmare. Any parent's nightmare, I should say. Let me just make sure I'm not. Hey, Dina. Happy birthday, Dina. Thanks so much for joining us.
Happy birthday.
Yes, thanks so much for joining us. One of the things I wanted to touch base, I thought this was really great, about Southwest Airlines. Now they are allowing a person who needs an extra seat to be able to get an extra seat with no additional cost. And this is for people who may be, let me just show the video. For some reason, is it working? Sorry about this, y'all. I think by me being away for a few weeks, it's showing.
Size to Southwest Airlines with an about face on a controversial policy about some plus-size passengers. And Rhiannon Alley joins us with those details. Good morning, Rhiannon.
Good morning to you all. Yes, I don't know if you remember this, but it was really controversial when they changed this. Well, now Southwest is making a change to how it handles passengers who need extra space. So let's rewind and tell you how this happened. Earlier this year, the airline updated its longtime customer of size policy, starting to require anyone who needed an extra seat to buy it ahead of time or to pay for it at the airport. And that sparked a lot of backlash. Well, now the airline is telling ABC News that if there are empty seats available, gate agents can now offer an extra seat at no additional cost. They say the goal is to make the experience feel more consistent and seamless for passengers who need extra room. Now, if the flight is full, those customers might have to wait for a later flight. And we did some digging. We found out if you already bought that extra seat, you could potentially get a refund as long as your itinerary doesn't include a partner carrier, which is basically a different airline, and there's an open seat on the flight. You also have to request the refund within 90 days of travel. And again, this is not guaranteed. This is only if there are open seats on that flight. So you're really at the mercy of how busy that flight is.
And you have to do the legwork here.
You have to do the legwork.
All right,
Absolutely, to get your money
Rhiannon.
back.
Yep. Thank you. Appreciate it.
There you have it. Yeah, because for a long time they was charging people to pay for an extra seat if you need an extra seat. So now that's great news that if you need an extra seat, that you can be able to get the seat without an extra charge. I also want to just remind our viewers to please share information because we're coming up on summer months. And we just want to make sure that everyone, please don't leave your children and your pets unattended in vehicles. This could lead to your arrest. And, this is something we've talked about this before. And you would think that being that this has been widely spread information, I don't know no one that don't know about this information. And yet and still, parents still do this. They still will leave their child in the hot car. They still will leave their pets in the hot car and then be shocked that they got arrested. I mean, just don't do it. So we want to tell parents, let's remind all of us to be cognizant to make sure that we are not leaving our children and our pets in these hot cars. Now we're going to turn to something that's a little bit sensitive. This is the badge, the anger and power. When an officer loses control. Now, we know the police officers, they be under a lot of pressure. Me personally, I don't think police officers get paid enough money. That's just my point of view. But they're under a lot of pressure. They see a lot of things. They go home with a lot of things on their minds from work. And I think that some of them, be working 16-hour days. And a lot of this have a lot to do with their emotionally being unstable, in my opinion. A lot of them need more vacations, more days off, just so they can be able to take a break. Also, they might need new counseling or training. I do want to show this video, and I do want to also remind our viewers that it is very, very sensitive.
I don't have a warrant. I don't have a warrant or it's in the house. What are you doing? I don't have a warrant or what's in the house.
Let go! Let go!
I don't have what?
Let go! I got him!
He is continuously beating her.
No, hold on.
hands behind your back.
I don't have a warrant or anything. No, excuse me, sir. No, excuse me. No, wow, excuse me. You wrong for that. No, excuse me, sir. Like,
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Excuse me.
Hands behind your back.
No,
cooperate.
Excuse me.
No. Hands behind your back.
I rebuke the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, the devil. No, what you are? Excuse me, girl. Excuse me. No, excuse me. Excuse me. Can you? Excuse me. Baby, cooperate. Excuse me. That's what they do.
Grab her hand.
No, excuse me. Sir, can you? Can you call somebody?
Put your hands behind your back now.
Can you call somebody?
Put your hands behind your back now.
No.
Put your hands behind your back.
I don't have a warrant.
Put your hands behind your back.
I didn't.
Baby,
I don't have any issues.
No,
Can you take me to mental health or something? I'm not on medication. Can you call my daddy? I'm not on my medication. Call my daddy. I need to go to the
God have mercy on y'all folks, because y'all don't reach what y'all sow.
I seriously don't have a warrant. Look at my name
Stay
and call
still.
Phoenix to the crisis center. Huh? Call Phoenix to the crisis center. Call my daddy. I'm not on medication. Can you call my daddy or something? Like, call him. Excuse me, can you pick up the phone and call crisis center on my daddy? Excuse me.
So she's continuously asking for them to call her father. Obviously, she says she's not on a medication, so that leads me to believe that there may have been some mental issues that is going on. But the way he was just hitting her, it was just, and she looked like she's about 100 pounds. She don't even look like she's a large person that could sustain such a blow like that. But let me just show. Now, this allegedly has happened within the last month. It's very recent from what I'm collecting information on, but I do want to share the outcome of what has happened since this had occurred.
This morning, the officer involved in this incident has been terminated from employment with the Shelby Police Department. In addition, the findings of our administrative investigation have been turned over to the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation for an independent review of any criminal violations. This step is being taken to ensure transparency, accountability, and public confidence in our actions as a law enforcement agency. As I stated yesterday, community trust is the foundation of effective policing. The officers, telecommunicators, and leadership of the Shelby Police Department remain committed to maintaining and strengthening that trust every day. Our agency is guided by the core values of honesty, teamwork, integrity, professionalism, and respect, and we hold ourselves accountable to those standards. As a lifelong resident of this community, I care deeply about the residents we serve and the reputation of this department. While this incident does not reflect the values of the Shelby Police Department, it does reinforce the importance of holding ourselves to the highest standards of conduct. As we move forward, our commitment to the City of Shelby remains unchanged, to protect our community with courage and serve our community with compassion. At this time, I'd like to introduce our City Manager, Justin Merritt, for some additional comments.
Thank you, Chief Frazier. The past 24 hours have been difficult for our community and have strained the fabric of trust that is at the core.
So it's like, what do you do when a police officer goes too far? They took action immediately in this particular situation, and that police officer was fired from his duties from that police station. But that does not mean that he can't go relocate and get a job at another facility or precinct. So, when you look at something like that, we're living in a time where we know that our skin has a lot to do. Our skin show up before our voices does. Before we even open up our mouths, our skin speaks. And to me, I think when you're living in a world that looks at us that way, when you walk out the door, you're praying constantly, Father God, allow me to be able to return unharmed. because the tension that we're living in right now is higher than I've ever witnessed before. The tension that we're living in, not just on men, it's women too. Before it used to be a lot of men, but now it's the women that's being targeted the most now, which is heartbreaking to say the least. When you see these types of things. And I think this happened in South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's in South Carolina. Emotionally, it keeps us emotionally looking for healing. And I'm hoping that justice is served for this young lady of what she just went through. I do want to share.
I know that we had this conversation before about, is it more violence or is it that it's being videotaped? You get what I'm saying?
It's more violence.
I personally don't think that it's more violence. I think that before social media, nobody knew nothing that was going on in South Carolina unless you lived in South Carolina. Before social media and people going live and all of that, you didn't know what was going on in Mississippi.
But the statistics, when you look at the statistics and you look at the numbers, statistics
of stuff that's being reported that they can't hide. When it's on video, you can't cover that up. You can't sweep that under the rug and just say it was a regular traffic stop and this person da-da-da-da-da. You can't do that anymore. That's what I'm saying. I personally think, has it been heightened? I think so, but I don't think it's to the magnitude of what I feel like it's always been there. It's just being publicized. I never knew anything about what's going on in Florida and what's going on in Mississippi and what's going on in Detroit and all. But now, because of social media, that's publicized. You see it everywhere. Yeah. So I think that it's more so of it being publicized that they can't run. They can't just put whatever in their police report and cut off their body camera and the good old boys are sticking together and nobody sees the light of day about anything and faces any consequences. Those days are over in that realm because everybody has a camera and everybody can videotape and go live. So I just feel this is a little bit different.
Yeah. No, it's in my opinion, I disagree. I think it is definitely worse by far. And I think it's going to get even worse before it gets better. At least that's what I'm looking at.
Do you think the people down south in South Carolina feel like it's worse, or it's about you? Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By
far.
I don't think
by far. I mean, okay. I put it to you this way: when you talk to people who, having a problem even going to vote, which that wasn't an issue, 20 years, but 30, 40 years ago it was. Last year, the year before, it wasn't as much of an issue as it is today. Where what's going on with it preventing you from voting. It's totally different now. And I think what happens we don't ever want to get to a point where we are not noticing. And I know you are noticing, but you're saying that you feel as though that because of the internet is making it more. I can't hear you. You're on mute. You can't.
I'm not surprised that Black people are getting beat up by cops. This is not something new to Black people. It's new to white folks. It's new to people that don't look like us, but it's not new to us. It's being publicized, and it got other cultures looking like, oh, they said it was that bad, but we never seen it. Now they see it. I don't think that. Yes, do I think that because because of the administration is what it is? I think that it brought people out to feel comfortable. But I think it's always been there. I don't think that all of a sudden, the rate of cops beating up Black people is high. I think it's always been like that. I feel like they cover stuff up, and that in a way that they can cut off body camera. They can do all these things and ain't nobody see it. It's your word against mine. I'm a cop, you not. What you gonna do? But if I got a video camera on your behind, what are you gonna say to that when I publicize it to not just my friends, to the whole entire world? You're gonna be held accountable. You don't have no choice. You can't cover that up. So that's how I feel about it.
I get what you're saying, but I'm saying my point is that it's worse now than it was before, in my opinion. I'm seeing more aggression. I'm seeing a lot more tension. than what I've seen before, even from colleagues and friends of mine who are of a white persuasion. They're even admitting that it's different, and before they wouldn't probably notice it, because when you're living in a neighborhood where predominantly most of your neighbors are 99% white, and maybe you have 1% that's Black, you might not see any of this. You might be immune to it, not to know that it's even existing. But when you have a person who are saying this is happening, but then they don't never see it, but now they see it because now it's more publicized, number one, like you stated. Number two, is more of this happening. It's more now happening than it did, like the January 6th, that's never happened in my time. It's just never happened. Now, it may have happened in my mother's time and my grandmother's time, sure. But in my time, my era, it has not happened. It's, to me, it's an increase. I guess this is where we kind of, of course, it's more attention now because you have social media. Yes, social media does bring attention. And I thank God for social media. Thank God for Mark Zuckerberg for bringing the lightness of Facebook, and for those, other social media platforms that followed. When they had, what was the other, MySpace, when that MySpace was around, I don't never remember this happening when MySpace was around. And
no, because it wasn't until people got access to be able to videotape and go live. And because when you think about it, the world has always had the control of the narrative. How the media wants you to feel a certain way about a certain group of people, a certain situation, and they will shape that narrative. But when you have 5 different angles, then you got 5 different ways to look at different things. And that's what I'm saying, is that they can no longer shape the narrative. So do I think that this has heightened? Yes. But do I think that it's at an all-time extreme that, like, I think Black people been getting beat up by cops for a very long time now. And I just feel like now that it's being videotaped, that's where the problem, that's where it's just like, it's
I agree
everywhere.
with you with that, but I think it's worse. I agree with you with that, but I think it's worse.
And who controlled the statistics too? Because that's another thing. They want us to feel a certain type of way about certain things, and that's how they control the narrative. But when you go live and you got a random person going live and showing the act of somebody getting beat, that was a Ring camera. That wasn't somebody, that looked like that was somebody's Ring camera that was, videotaping. And that just happened to catch them in the act.
Yeah.
Because if that did not catch it, would the guy be fired? We don't know. We don't know.
No, he wouldn't. But see, his partner came up and was trying to stop him. Like, yo, man.
Yeah, but what if that partner was a rookie and say, you know what? Because that happens all the time. People be rookies and they want to come in, they want to change the world.
He looked very young.
He did look young, but if it would have been his word against somebody that's a vet. Who was you get what I'm saying? Like, because that camera came into play, that's what dictated his future. Yeah, in my opinion. So that's just, I don't know. We can agree to disagree.
We disagree
on that front,
respectfully. Respectfully, we disagree. Before we move into our next, I do want to, before I go to announce this job, I do want to share this other video that was quite interesting, I should say. It's an eighth grader who had an opportunity to give an 8th grade speech to his classmates. And this is what he had to say.
My name is Daniel Mattingly, and apparently this school doesn't know better than to give an angry gay kid a microphone. No shade at all, but I came to the graduation planning to give a speech about my trauma influencing me as a person, and Black, brown, and mixed youth are facing oppression nowadays and being forced to fear their own identities. I had a speech ready to cheer on and encourage oppressed youth, which makes up the entirety of the school. I was told by Mr. Dawson and Miss Imes that there's a time and a place. My speech is too negative, it's too controversial. This school is built on racism, sexism, and homophobia. I encourage everyone here today to stand up for yourself, even if it makes a scene. This school is fucking ridiculous.
It sounds like that kid was angry.
Somebody said, "That's my boy."
He was mad. But it just shows you that even the young kids are noticing the racism that's being put upon the African American community, but just not the African American community. It's the Indians that's going through things. I mean, there's a whole lot of other cultures that are also going through discrimination. It's unreal. But they did not want him to they did not want him to have anything to say. But somehow he must have convinced them to say, hey, you know, I'm going to say something really nice. And he probably wrote something that he was going to say real nice and then got up there and said the total opposite. Oh my goodness. That was, I had to play that and share that because I said to myself, the children will lead. That's for sure. Children will lead. Hey dude, how you doing? Let me say, it definitely was no comedy. Yes, he was definitely serious, right? He was serious. And you know what? One of the things I think too, what happens when he said that y'all should have known better to give an angry gay boy the microphone. I was like, woof. I knew this was going to be something that was going to be juicy. But I do want to share with our viewers, and please, when you get a chance, if you know anyone that may be interested, this is Aramark Temple University hiring event. It's going to be held on June the 11th, which is on a Thursday from 9 to 4 p.m. at Morgan Hall at Temple University, Broad and Cecil B. Moore, which is in Philadelphia. They're hiring for all different positions. They said, bring your resume, be dressed to impress, and be ready to be hired on the spot. So that's again on Thursday, June the 11th at 9 p.m. at Temple University. It's a hiring event. It sounds like they're going to have other companies that's going to be there. The pay is based on your experience. But I just wanted to share that information with our viewers. Before we go into our next topic, one of the things I think for me, I wanted to talk about is something that I eat a lot of. And when I came across this video, I got sick. I was like, oh, don't tell me that what I thought I was eating, I was not eating all this time. The tuna fish mystery. What's really in the can? Now, I'm going to only play a part of this video because it is a little lengthy, but I am going to play a part of it, and then I'm going to put the remaining part of the video in our chat. I'm going to put the remaining part of the video in the chat, but I do want to share this tidbit with our viewers. Tuna fish is at a limit for me now.
Eating a tuna-heavy diet was more expensive than it should have been, thanks to this man. A grand jury has indicted Bumblebee Foods CEO Christopher Leszewski on price-fixing charges. Prosecutors say he conspired with other people in the industry to eliminate competition by fixing the price of canned tuna. 2 other Bumblebee executives have already pleaded guilty. The company agreed to pay a $25 million fine.
Scientists ran DNA tests on canned tuna bought from grocery stores across America. What they found was not tuna, escolar, a fish so toxic to the human digestive system that Japan and Italy have banned it from being sold entirely. Sitting in cans, labeled as tuna, on shelves you have been shopping from for years. That is not the worst part. The worst part is which brands the testing flagged. Names you grew up with, names your doctor never told you to avoid, names sitting in the pantries of pregnant women and cancer patients right now because the label said tuna and nobody checked what was actually inside. 7 brands investigated, only 2 are actually real fish. Let's open every single one. Number 1, Starkist. Charlie the tuna has been trying to get caught since 1961. That is the joke. The mascot with taste. The fish who wanted to be good enough for StarKist. Generations of American families grew up with that cartoon playing on their television sets. Charlie became one of the most recognized brand mascots in food history. Parents bought StarKist. Their children bought StarKist. Their grandchildren are buying StarKist right now without a second thought. Charlie never mentioned the federal criminal conviction. Here is what happened. StarKist, Bumblebee, and Chicken of the Sea coordinated pricing across the American canned tuna market for years. They conspired to fix prices so that regardless of which can a consumer picked up, they were paying whatever the cartel had agreed on. The Department of Justice investigated. StarKist pleaded guilty to federal price-fixing charges in 2019. The company was fined $100 million. $100 million in fines. Charlie kept smiling on the can. That conviction alone should give every family pause before the next purchase. But the sourcing problems run deeper than the price fixing. Independent DNA testing conducted by researchers at ocean conservation institutions has flagged species substitution in StarKist product lines. Cans labeled as albacore, containing skipjack. Cans labeled as light tuna, containing species that were not identified as tuna at all. The testing methodology is straightforward. DNA sequencing does not lie about what species is in the can. The label sometimes does. Then there is the mercury question. Certain StarKist varieties have tested above FDA advisory thresholds for mercury in independent laboratory analysis. The FDA sets advisory limits specifically because mercury accumulates in the body over time. It crosses the placental barrier. It affects neurological development in fetuses and young children. Pregnant women and families with young children are the most vulnerable population, and they are also the core StarKist consumer demographic. Open a can of StarKist Chunk Light and press the fish against the side of the can with a fork. Notice the texture variation. Some pieces firm, some dissolving immediately. That inconsistency across a single can is not natural variation in one species. That is what multiple species processed together looks like when the flesh behaves differently under the same conditions. Charlie wanted to be caught by StarKist. You deserve to know exactly what StarKist is catching. The next brand has been investigated by a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalism team. The mermaid did not come out of it well. Number 2. Chicken of the Sea. You have seen this mermaid your entire life. She has been on that can since 1914. Chicken of the Sea is not just a brand to American families and seniors. It is a fixture, a pantry constant that outlasted every food trend, every economic crisis, every generation of grocery shopping. It feels permanent, reliable, safe in the way that only something truly familiar can feel. That feeling is the product. The fish behind it is a different story. Chicken of the Sea is owned by Thai Union, a Thai corporation that controls roughly 20% of the global canned seafood market. And Thai Union is not a company with a clean record in any category. The Associated Press published a landmark investigation into Thai Union supply vessels. What they found was forced labor, men trafficked onto fishing boats, held at sea for years, no pay, no contract, no way off the vessel. The fish those men caught under those conditions ended up in cans on American grocery shelves. That investigation won a Pulitzer Prize. Thai Union issued statements, joined sustainability coalitions, promised systemic reform. The mermaid stayed smiling on the can. Independent audits of Thai Union supply chains conducted after those initial investigations continued to flag unresolved sourcing issues. Certifications were obtained. What happens on the water remains significantly harder to verify than what gets printed on a label. The tuna category runs deeper than the sardine category for Thai Union. The volume is...
Okay, so I will put the remaining of that video in the chat. So now I'm kind of hesitant when I get ready to go and buy tuna, because I'm like, is this really tuna? Is this, what is it? We eating dog food? What is this? What are we eating? This is crazy. You can't trust nobody. Oh my goodness. Dude said that he heard about this a year ago. I was so disappointed and confused. I'm telling you, I'm like, this cannot be so. I've never heard anything bad about tuna. And now here we are. Is there anything that's authentic? I know my people who don't eat meat, plant-based, they're going to say, yeah, we know. Y'all just got to stop eating all that crazy food. Listen, I do want to share a few more things with you. One of the things I want to share, I don't know if any of you have ever heard of employee assistant program. Now, many employers will not mention this to you. Many employers will not mention this to you, but it's a voluntary work-based benefit that offers free confidential information for short-term counseling. It also helps you with your rent, with your mortgage payments. You just have to go to your human resource department and ask them about their employee assistant program, and do they have any programs that will help with rent if you're behind on your rent, if you're behind on your mortgage payments. They have a whole list of things that they help you with. Some employers do not advertise this program. Some of them do not advertise this program, but if you go in and ask about it, they will give you the list. So I just wanted to share that information. Now, before we sign off and before we go, I just want to say this one thing, that when you get ready to post some things on social media, you definitely have to be careful what you post, because there was a person who had posted some information, excuse me, on social media, and he ended up getting arrested. And he actually posted something about Charlie Kirk. And you would think freedom of speech, but freedom of speech is not free. So I just want to share this as our last video for this evening.
Retired Tennessee police officer was awarded hundreds of thousands of dollars after spending more than a month behind bars. It was all over a meme he posted about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Let's bring in CBS News correspondent Chanel Call live in our newsroom in New York. Chanel, what led to the officer's arrest?
Right. So Larry Buschert is a 61-year-old retired police officer, Mugo. He posted some controversial memes on Facebook in the wake of Charlie Kirk's death, some jokes about Charlie Kirk's killing. He refused to take them down, and then back in September, he was arrested. Now, I should note that while there were people across the country who similarly may have posted some controversial things about Charlie Kirk's killing in the wake of that murder, and many of them, by the way, did face consequences, including losing their jobs, this case was different and rare. Buschert spent 37 days in jail facing felony charges, and he says in an affidavit that during that time, he lost his post-retirement job. He says he missed his wedding anniversary, and he says he missed the birth of a grandchild. Then in October, 37 days later, he was released. After he was out in December, he decided to file a federal lawsuit against Perry County. And today, Mugo, he won an $835,000 settlement. So his reaction to this, in a statement, he says, quote, "I am pleased my First Amendment rights have been vindicated. The people's freedom to participate in civil discourse is crucial to a healthy democracy. I am looking forward to moving on and spending time with my family." Back to you.
Chanel, thank you so much.
If you're not using a business travel platform like Navan, you're really missing out. Hi, I'm Ellie, and I'm the People Operations Specialist at Synthesia. Navan is a business travel platform.
Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Thank y'all so much for tuning in for another episode of Momma Said It. Shakira, do you have any last words that you would like to say? I forgot to do the scroll this evening.
No, it's just everybody be kind to someone you don't know what they're going through. And have a good week.
Absolutely. Please, everyone, make sure you enjoy your up and coming week. We're entering into the month of June. June 1st tomorrow. Do something different today that you didn't do yesterday to change your tomorrow. Y'all have a blessed one.
Mama said it clear as day. Storms will come, they won't stay. Pray it out, let it go. Don't let grudges steal your road glow. Hold your head up, chase the sun. This race ain't over, it's just begun. Mama said every day's like this. Keep your faith, don't you miss. The blessings waiting in the air. God's with you. Every stumble, every fall, every shadow on the wall. Just a chapter, not the end. Keep on running, don't pretend. Lift your heart, pull your breath. With every step, the world will shake. Mama